Great evening, everybody. Great evening, everybody. Come on in the room. Welcome to the She's More Now Connectional resource. So come on in the room. We're going to give people a few moments to come on in. If you would like and share this video. Trust me, I have an amazing guest that's going to share with us today. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But she's going to share with us today. So come on and chat with us on a very much needed topic. If you would like and share this video. Again, hey Aunt Jackie, how are you? Welcome to She's More Now Connectional resource. I am Dr. Shavonna Whitehead, and it's always my privilege, honor, and pleasure to come and join you as we create this platform, not for one person, but for us to come together and to grow in the wisdom and knowledge of different aspects of life. And here's my belief. My belief is that I am not the only one that has the answers. So I connect to some amazing people that can come in and bring wisdom, that can come in and bring nuggets, that can come in and bring their experience to help us all transform. And listen, hi Octavia, how are you? Our topic tonight is I matter. I matter. You're probably saying, Dr. Bond, what in the world is I matter? Here is the dynamic. Oftentimes we put our feelings on the back burner to make sure everybody's okay. To please people. Sometimes we settle. And then the flip side of that, sometimes we don't even take into consideration how someone else may feel. And so when we talk about I matter, when I say I matter, that means you matter too. And so the premise of this is I feel, you feel. I can't negate how you feel. You can't negate how I feel, but we both matter. And during this course of journey, many of us are suppressing what we feel. We're suppressing, our thoughts and expressions because we're scared of how somebody will respond. And then there's many of us that have become super judgmental and super critical of everybody, that we always have a judgment on what someone's doing or how someone's doing it. And here's the thing. We don't even know what that person is going through, but we have already damaged them even more with issuing different levels of judgment. And so listen, I have the amazing, amazing privilege to have one of my little sisters to come and join me tonight. I'm going to bring her to the screen and she's going to join us. Say hello, Kendra. She got to unmute herself, y'all. She waving, but she got to unmute herself.
Oh my God.
Here she go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay. So listen, everybody, this is one of my little sisters, Kendra. Listen, I've known her for years. We're talking about over 20 years at this point. And so I want you to embrace what she has to say because her perspective is amazing. Her perspective on the care for people, her perspective on the strength of people, her perspective on understanding that people matter, even their mental health and what they go through is amazing. And so I wanted to bring her on so that she can share this platform because listen, she has a little baby that she been sitting on and she don't, I'm gonna put her out there. She has this baby that she been sitting on and she ain't really gone full throttle. So guess what I decided to do as the big sister? I done pulled her out here. Now she out here. And so now she's going to even talk about that. But listen, y'all, she was late. I'm going to tell her, if our pastor was on here, she might have been on time if we was, but I love her. But listen, Kendra, as you embrace the people, however you see fit to share with them from the perspective that has resonated with you on how to not only address that you matter, but how to be sensitive to other people, knowing that they matter too, even if you don't agree, that they matter too. So y'all help me welcome Kendra right now. And listen, I want y'all to put y'all questions in the chat. We're going to have Q&A session at the end. But listen, I want you to embrace all that she's going to drop inside of us because I believe that there's some wisdom and knowledge that she's going to drop today. And so I want you to get your pen, get your paper. No question is a dumb question. We have in a chat. This is an open, safe space. And so at this time, Kendra, I turn it over to you, darling.
All righty. Good evening, everyone. Hello, everybody. My name is Kendra. I want to thank my sister first for this opportunity. Like she stated, she definitely pulled me because some things that I'm trying to work on behind the scenes that at some point it's time to bring it out. So basically I feel you feel stemmed from the kind of individual that I am. If you know me, I am very caring. Sometimes it's I have to learn how to balance between caring for others, sometimes a little bit more than myself. Not on a bad level, but just because I feel like that everybody needs a consistent person to care. And so that is basically what I feel you feel is. It is just something that I came up with out of a ministry that was given to me called Choose Life, which is geared towards encouragement for those who are dealing with mental torment, anyone who has dealt with any suicidal thoughts, anyone who has felt, like giving up, anybody who has had a bad day. It's just basically one big encouragement bucket. So from that, God gave that to me in 2017, September 11th, 2017. And from that, I feel you feel came out of that about, I would say, a year ago. So basically, my job is to care, um, looking at everything that's going on, not just due to the pandemic, but even before the pandemic, we basically saw that a lot of people do not really care about people in real life, unless you're doing the things that people are stating is correct, unless you're doing the things that people are stating is right. People really do not care. So I took it upon myself to be able to be that person, to be there, and to show them that there is someone who cares. I apologize. To show them that there is someone who cares. So that's basically what I do. I have learned over the years that not only is it important to be extra caring for others, but you have to care for yourself. And in loving yourself and caring for yourself, sometimes God will help you to be able to see those who you are to help guide them along the way. Um, it's not anything really, really deep. It's just basically caring, just caring for people. So that's basically who I am. Um, and I'm really grateful that God has given me that task, because when I was growing up, I felt like I lacked encouragement. It had nothing really to do with my home, my church, or anything, because I've been in church forever. But I just felt like that there were some things that I needed someone to care on, and I did not have anyone to care. And then as I became a parent of two beautiful young ladies, seeing how the times have changed from when I was a teenager to when they became teenagers and different things like that, it basically helped me to be able to continue to show people that we do care. A lot of people are lost, and the reason why they are lost is because they feel as though nobody cares. So it's my job to help. It's my job to be able to be that person to let you know that yes, there is someone who cares. I don't care about your personal life. I don't care about the choices that you make personally by doing whatever it is that you do. I don't care about that. I don't care about and I always have to watch when I say this, but I don't really get into the whole religious standpoint either. My thing is, I just want for everyone to know that there is somebody who cares. So that is basically my job. That's basically my purpose on earth. It took me a long time to realize what my purpose was and to actually be comfortable with my purpose. So I just basically do it on a day to day basis. I just, if someone is going through something, then I'll be there for them. If someone is not going through something, then I'm there. I always have an encouraging word to give. Um, Whether it's have a great day, whether it's you survived what you went through yesterday, whether it's anything that happened before this exact moment, it's irrelevant. Whether it is take what you've experienced, learn from it, and then let's keep making steps. Whatever the word is, I always have one, because we need that. We need that. People are lost not because there's not assistance out here, or not because there are not resources, but people are lost because they don't feel like people care. And people are feeling like they don't have the opportunity to express themselves if they're dealing with depression, if they're dealing with any mental thoughts that are all over the place, if they're feeling like they're by themselves, if they're a single mom, if they're a single dad, if they're a wife that's struggling in her marriage, if there's a husband that's struggling in their marriage, if there's someone who's just struggling with their own identity, with who they are. There are people out here who are actually struggling with real things and they need somebody to care. Somebody that's not going to take their business and run it in the street, someone that's not going to gossip about them, somebody that's not going to throw what they were taught of being right or wrong, but they need someone to just be there to care. So that is basically what I feel you feel is that's my slogan that I have for myself. And prayerfully, I pray that there would be others out here who would be able to step outside themselves and actually be there for someone else, even if it is just a listening ear. Sometimes you don't need to say anything. Sometimes you don't even have to ask questions, but just sitting with them, just checking on them, different things like that. So that is basically what my purpose is on earth. That is basically what I feel you feel is.
And so Ken, I'm about to push you a little bit. Because what do you feel that judgment and opinions have done to people with regards to their feelings of whether or not anybody cares about them?
Say it one more time. I can't hear you.
I said, you can't hear me?
No, it's like real slow.
Okay. See, they don't want me to talk. Ain't that terrible? So I'll say it again. Can you hear me now?
I'm out. No, it's like
Might be your earbud. Can you guys hear me?
it's real like womp womp womp.
I don't know why. I was, and I don't know what just happened. Can you guys hear me out there? Okay, you guys can hear me. Okay, they can hear
It's
me
still the
good.
same, sis.
So so they can hear me, you can't.
No, it's like womp womp. But go ahead, keep talking because I can hear somebody else phone.
No, but I'm saying the people can hear me, you can't. So it's something with your connection.
It's just slow, but I can hear you now. Go ahead.
No, but I'm saying the people can hear me, you can't. So
Yeah.
it's something with your connection.
Hold on.
Okay.
It's just slow, but I can.
Yo, we gonna get it together. Don't y'all worry, because I believe Kendra has a lot to say that will help us. So I want to make sure that I get her. Don't y'all worry, because I believe Kendra has a lot to say.
I don't know why it's doing this.
So I want to make sure that I get her. Because we can hear her clear, but she can't hear me clearly. And now Kendra's frozen.
Hold on. Hold
So
on.
Kendra, go out, come back in.
Hold on. So hold on 1 second. All right.
And so as we're waiting for her to come back in, I want you guys to ponder because I want her. Okay, thanks, Cole. Thank you. And so as I'm waiting for her to come back in, I want her to kind of talk to us about the what the weight of judgment and opinions have done to people with why they don't feel anybody cares about them. And so I want to get her perspective on it because she has an amazing perspective on it. Because here's the thing, a lot of people out here are sitting like nobody cares because we think that our way is the only way. We think that the way that we live is the only way. We think that our opinions are the one all and get all. And here's the dynamic. We have to realize that sometimes our way don't work for everybody. But can you still love somebody even when it don't work for you? And so I want to talk to her because Kendra has a unique gift and ability to embrace people, to love on them no matter where they are in life, to really connect with them, to really love on them. And so I want to make sure that she has an opportunity to come on and actually share with us. Hopefully she's logging back in because I want to get this chat up and going. Yeah. Yes, Octavia. Here's the dynamic because we don't know it all, and though we may have learned something going through one experience, does not mean that that experience is the one all and for all. And so we have to get to a place where we show more love and compassion. Okay, thanks, sis. And so we have to get to a place where we show more love and compassion. Because many of us, if you look at our posts down Facebook and our timelines, and you look at all different kinds of stuff, we have become the most judgmental people. We have a remedy. We want to know why people got admins, why people wearing this, why people go here, why people go and celebrate this person, why they celebrate like this, why they dress like this. It has amazed me how we have become so critical of people and don't understand the weight of being so critical and judgmental has actually put on the minds of people. Some people are really on the verge of committing suicide because your opinion almost beat the hell out of them. Some of them literally are about to fall apart because you have become so critical and judgmental, and they just trying to figure it out. They are legitimately just trying to figure it out. But when are we going to get back to the love? When are we going to get back to the compassion that it takes to realize that not only I matter, you matter. And if you matter, I matter. We don't always have to agree, but we still matter. We don't always have to be on the same page, but we still matter. And so with that, that's right, Shamir, we got to learn how to extend grace. But here's the problem. We want everybody to give grace to us, but we don't want to extend it to anybody. There's my boo. There she is.
Oh, what
There
the
she go.
devil?
Loud and clear. I hear y'all.
I'm buying that devil now. Okay, sorry.
I hear you loud and clear, honey bun.
I don't know what was going on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what was I don't know what was going on, but I'm sorry. Sorry,
But you
guys.
are clear. No, listen, we are glad you're back because I feel like you got something to say.
Maybe.
And so, no, in all seriousness, and let me tell you, I shared with them, I don't know if you heard while you off, you have a unique ability to be able to embrace people no matter where they are and no matter what kind of people they are. And I say that they could be living a life you don't even understand. You just love them just because. And
Yeah.
I was saying to them, when are we going to get back to the place where we extend grace and love just freely, not
Mm,
traditionally based off of who you are, if we cool, if you go to my favorite church, or if you on a certain caliber, or you dress
mm-hmm.
a certain way. But when are we going to actually extend love and grace the real way? And so my question to you before we got disconnected was, what do you feel the weight of judgment and opinions have done to people that makes them feel like they don't matter?
Oh, it's damaged them. Um, it's damaged them completely. And it sometimes has caused people to even question who they are, just based off of what others say is whatever. I think sometimes we are too opinionated. So because we are so opinionated and feel like that we have the answers to everything, we'll throw what we consider the correct way on others. So if I'm taught a certain thing all of my life, and then I meet somebody else who might not have been taught that exact thing, then we try to make that person, believe that they are wrong because they were not taught the same way we were not taught. So grace is never, and when I say never, it's never given unless you are the person who is actually in something. We don't know how to give grace to people who we're not in that situation, or that's not our life per se. We would rather take the attention off of us because we're not confident in ourselves, and we rather just throw somebody else out to the wolves. But we don't want to extend that grace. We don't want to extend the grace that we will want until it's our turn. So it damages people mentally. It makes you sit there and think, am I wrong? Is the way I think, is that not right? Is the way I feel, is that not right? The way I move, is that not right? So then it takes your confidence from being on top of the world to feeling like, let me go hide under this rug because people are telling me or are making me feel like that I am not okay. and we have certain rules or certain standards that we live by. But if a person doesn't live by that standard, then in our eyes, they are not okay and they are doomed. Instead of actually having a conversation and saying, hey, this is my perspective. What's your perspective, in either coming to the middle or just agreeing to disagree and still loving them and keeping it moving? Because we don't have to
Right.
believe the same thing. We don't have to um speak on the same thing. I don't want friends who we all agree. I need friends that are debatable, so that my perspective or the way that I think, I'm able to see, Kendra, is just not about how you think. It's just not about how you feel. Yes, what
Mhm.
you're saying may have context, but it might mean something, but look at it this way, and them not treat me funny because I
Absolutely.
might say, well, Dr. Vaughn, I don't agree. So
Absolutely.
grace is hardly given until we are the ones who are in the tornadoes.
I said that while you were waiting.
Hmm.
Um, and because oftentimes, if it's not the way we thought or we were taught that it's supposed to be,
Oh yeah.
then we automatically deem it wrong. But my motto has been, probably for years, and it's always probably got me in trouble, is there's unity and diversity. We do not
Absolutely.
have to be all the same to be unified. We don't
Yeah.
have to all be the same to get along. We
Mhm.
don't all have to be the same to even work together.
Right.
Here's the thing. If we're all the same, then when we encounter somebody that has a different story, who's going to be able to meet their need?
Exactly.
One of us in the circle got to be able to relate to them.
Exactly.
I mean, one of us in we all, like, case in point. Okay, I'm the real churchy one. I am. I don't know how to be anything else. I've been
Hmm.
like that since high school.
Hmm.
I don't know how to be, even when I've tried to be something. I don't know how to be anything else.
Absolutely.
But when I hang out and this, that, and the third, and if any of my other friends know all the songs, and I'm sitting up here like I don't know a word to that, but we gonna bounce through it. I
Right.
I do not sit up there and now look at them any kind of way because you don't listen to that song enough to know all the lyrics.
Yeah.
I ain't never listened to it. So it's not my job to now say, oh girl, you too worldly. Why you listen to that? That's
Hmm.
not my job. When
Hmm.
did we think that it became our job to be judge and jury?
When we started talking,
Why do we think that it's our job to be judge and jury?
I don't know where that stems from. A lot of times, I've said it on a live I did before. I think because we were raised to be so strong, and although we're told, like, you are royalty, that's what we have been taught. I think some of us sometimes take that too far. Like, we're royalty in who we are, not in what you say. We're royalty and walking the walk that was designed for us. You're not a queen or you're not a king because of the things that you say. It's your presence. So I think that sometimes, because our confidence sometimes is so high, and then we put the confidence level we have on top of this fake confidence level we have, that makes us sit there and point our fingers at people, because none of us are different. We just have different paths. That's it. Your life is no different from mine. I just might have went down one street, whereas you drove up 3 blocks and you got to your destination right then and there. Somebody else could have went 17 blocks up, but that doesn't make any of us different. And the reality is, we do not care because we are not on the same path. So if I can look at your path, or if you can look at my life and say, I can't believe she did that. I can't believe that's what she was in, or I can't believe that's the road that she took, because it wasn't a path that you were on, then you will point your finger down. But your path is literally the same, it's just different characters. So I think that if we can understand that, if we just stay in our lanes and not try to be so judgmental over people, then people will really feel like you care. The suicide level will go down if we can stop telling people where they are wrong 24/7. I said something earlier. I'm scrolling through Facebook, even though right now, I can't comment. Gotta look. But I was scrolling through and I was just looking like, it's just so many statuses about what other people are doing, but nobody is speaking on the things that they are doing. It's so many different posts or indirect posts about what
Yep.
this person is doing at at this location, or how this person's living their life. How about you take the focus off of what everybody else is doing and turn it in towards you? Because there are some things that you need to fix too. You're not all the way okay. So if we would actually think about ourselves first before we speak on other people's situations, then I believe depression will go down. I believe anxiety will go down. I believe that um the suicidal thoughts that people have, the mental torment that people have. Because here's the thing, although we say I'm not out here trying to prove anything to anybody, there is a 5% part of us that does. So if
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to show you, okay, I'm this kind of person, and if you come and say you're wrong for that, or you point your finger at me, it's knocked me all the way back down again. So
But here's the caveat to that, which I think we're missing. If I took time to actually listen to your story, I
mm-hmm,
might actually find that a piece of your story will help me
mm-hmm,
in my story. But because I am so focused on the wrong I think,
exactly.
I'm using that
Same.
word heavy, the
Mm-hmm,
wrong I think you're doing, because I got this box, the
mm-hmm,
wrong that I think that you're doing. I am so focused on the wrong I think you're doing that I won't even take enough time to open my ears and my heart to hear
yep,
that if you actually begin to tell me your story, there may be a part of your story that I may find myself in, even if I didn't go all the blocks. I
right.
might have went on the street.
Mm-hmm,
And now because I did go on the street with the abandoned houses, though you kept going down, now I can relate to you because I see the same abandoned houses.
yep.
So though because I ain't bold like I ain't bold like I'm a chicken. So though I
Mm-hmm,
stay at the corner, my
mm-hmm,
eyes can see the abandoned houses. You decided to keep on walking. So now you see the abandoned houses, the dirty alley, the drug. You see all the extra stuff that's down the street. But now
yeah.
I can relate to you that I'm standing here like, wait a minute. I see why she could think this way.
Mm-hmm,
So my compassion level goes up because
yeah.
now I find me. Because if we're true, all of us can find ourselves in somebody else's story.
Oh yeah.
It's no need of you sugarcoating it. It's no need of you trying to act like you're perfect. All of us can
Oh
find
yeah.
ourselves somewhere in somebody else's story.
Oh, absolutely is.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's even, this is the thing, nobody's even telling that story because of the facade that we're trying to put on for other people. You
Yep.
know me, I'm an open book. There's nothing that you can't ask me about my story. There's nothing that I will not share, because at the end of the day, my story is going to help somebody else. But the thing is, we don't want to share our story because we want people to think that we're perfect. And if people will open up their mouths instead of allowing people to go down that bad path and say to them, hey, let me just share a little bit about what I've dealt with, what I've came through, what I'm dealing with still, the things that I'm still trying to make still trying to pull myself through, then people would really be okay. Like, we're selfish. At the end of the
Real.
day, we are some
Real.
selfish individuals.
Real.
I don't care how you look at it, we are selfish, and people live by that. Everybody is on their own. I get it. To some extent, you have to be selfish with yourself, but there are testimonies that need to be told. People are legit killing themselves because we are not opening up our mouths. I don't care about any part of my story that you might have an issue with. But the fact that my story might, even if it doesn't reach you, it's going to reach somebody else. So
Exactly.
I think that the issue is if we stop trying to take the details out of the story and saying, oh, that's what you, oh, wow, that's a lot, and actually listen to the story, like you said, we'll see. All of us really are in common in real life.
Right.
You just might not have, your story might not just be exactly like mine, but I'm no different from you. You're no different from me. But people don't want to tell that story because they want people to think I've never done anything. No,
Exactly. Like
no,
it's
I
this
no.
perfect. It's this
Yeah,
perfect picture. Like
yeah,
I'm holy and anointed all the time. No, I'm not holy and anointed
yep,
all the time. There's some days I don't feel like it.
yeah,
There's some days I don't even like where I am.
yeah.
There's some days that is very uncomfortable. I don't feel like praying. I ain't spiritual. I just don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
Siobhan is sitting here like whatever.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, I posted a while back. I was like, the day just ain't the day.
Oh
And
yeah.
let me tell you why I did that. And some people will say, well, if you're building a brand and you're in leadership and everything, you need to watch what you post. To a certain degree, I understand the caliber of that. That I do. But here's the thing. It say we overcome by the power of our testimonies.
Absolutely.
So because we want to be quoting scriptures around here. We want to be everybody want to be posting
We love
scriptures.
doing that.
We want to be quoting scriptures, but what about that scripture that says that we overcome by the power? If we overcome, if I overcome by what I hear you say, and you ain't saying nothing, then how can I overcome? If you sitting
Absolutely.
on it because you want to act like you always dressed up, you want to act like your hair always done, you want to act like sometimes I get on my lives, I don't have no makeup, no nothing, because that's just what I am. That's what I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
And guess what? I had somebody say to me that the reason why they come on my lunchtime empowerments is because I don't feel like I gotta be nothing extra. Because sometimes you come on there, you got a t-shirt and a head wrap. Yeah, I do. I got a t-shirt and a head wrap because that's just what I am that day. You know, or they look on my post and they say, sometimes you post, you don't even got no makeup. Yeah, because that's not me all the time. Sometimes it's just me, just like I am right now.
Yeah.
And we have to get to
people
a
need to
place
see that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, people need to see that. I tell Kalia all the time, I hate the fake it till you make it comment, because it forces people to feel like they cannot be real. Like it, so it forces people to put on a facade. I tell her all the time, never, I don't want you to ever fake it till you make it. I understand what they meant by that, but some of us are too fake. So we we faked it forever. Like, you, be who you are. People will accept you more if you are who you are. People don't want to listen to people if they're not who they are. If I'm looking at you and you not being real, what you saying? It's nothing that you can say to me. I would rather talk to someone who looks a certain way, who doesn't have a problem with telling that story, than someone who's dressed up and is quiet. Because if you dressed up and put together, looking at you, it's like, okay, well, what can you tell me? Now, I'm not saying look crazy all the time. That's not what I'm saying. But
Right.
I'm not, I'm not saying that. But
Praise the Lord.
yeah, because sometimes you gotta put your hat on, put your put your face on.
Put your hand on. Put your face
Put your hat on. Yes. So, but it is sometimes it's the raw moments that make the difference. For years, I was the one who thought that you had to be made up. I wore a mask for years. And it wasn't until Kalia started getting older, Jayla started getting older, that as I started to tell them my stories, because there are no secrets with my children. And I do that because when I grew up, certain things were hush hush. So I wanted to experience certain things on my own because it was never brought up in my home for us to discuss. So there's nothing that my children don't know about my life. My kids probably could tell my story just like I could tell you my story. But it wasn't until I had them, and as they got older, that I realized the importance of being raw and having those conversations. And believe it or not, when I tell Kalia certain stuff about my life, because again, nothing is a secret, she encourages her friends to sit and listen to me talk as well. That's the people that I'm trying to pull,
exactly.
not the ones who think they have it all together. Because if you think you have it all together, you don't need me. You know what I'm saying?
There it is right there. If you think you have it all together, what you talking to me for? We don't.
Yeah, you don't. You don't need me. If I think I have it all together, I don't need the person. But the people who feel like this is my last day, if somebody doesn't speak hope to me, if somebody doesn't give me a hug, if somebody doesn't let me know like you can make it, those are the people that I want. I don't want the ones that are fake, because you're not raw enough for me. You're not raw, and everybody's testimony is worth being said. There's nothing that we have done
worth being said.
there's nothing that we have done that has been the worst. The times are changing. These babies are doing things in elementary school that I didn't think about doing
Come on
until I
here.
was 30. Like, y'all, what y'all doing? It's comments that they're making that I'm like, oh my God, you know what that is? Like, well, what is that? Like, I have to
I
ask
learned that
them.
almost 40 years old. What you talking about?
It's like, what is that? But it just goes to show, like, the times are changing, so we have to be very transparent. It starts with our children, not even just, if you had them biologically, but any kind of relationship that you have with a
That's
child.
right.
It is your purpose to be able, and your duty, to sit there and talk to them. It starts, if we can do what we're supposed to do with the children, it they won't turn out to be adults like us.
Thank you.
Hmm.
But we're so fearful. See, my
Oh
whole thing about it is we've gotten so holy, sanctified, purified, everything. We're walking, talking Bible. I mean, I get it, all of that, because my goal is always for God to be pleased with me. My
yeah. Hmm.
life is
Hmm.
centered and rooted in God's purpose for my life. But
Absolutely.
sometimes I gotta tell somebody where I fell.
Oh yeah.
I gotta tell them where I dropped the ball.
Hmm.
I gotta tell them how, somebody said to me the other Sunday after I preached, and was like, "Dag, I wish I could do it like you." I said, "No, because then you had to make the same failures I did."
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
look, and they looked at me real strange, and they was like, "What?" I said, "No, because then you had to make the same mistakes I did, because
Yes.
I had to get some rebukes, and
Yeah.
I had to learn from some bottom moments
Yeah.
for me to get here. This did not come like I don't have no cute story that ain't nothing ever happened to me, and I ain't never think about suicide, and I ain't never deal with depression, and I didn't never deal with wanting to give up. I don't have that story.
Yeah.
So when you actually say something like, "Oh, I wish I could do," no, then
No, you don't.
you want to go through what I went through
Yeah.
and made me lay down on my face and get to
Yeah.
where sometimes I didn't have nobody but God, because everybody else looked at me like I was strange when I said I was struggling. So
Yeah.
everybody looked at me like I was strange, because you're Dr. Vaughn. What do you mean you're struggling? So now everybody looking at me like I'm stupid and I'm strange. So nobody want to help me.
Yeah.
They think you're out of order. You saying something wrong with you? No, I am in order. I'm trying to ask y'all to help me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my thing that I say, and this is why I create these platforms, is because somebody needs to know that there's somebody out here that if I do need help, it may not be a lot of them, but it's a couple people out here
Hmm.
that will talk real to me and help, and not leave me there to die. They
Yeah.
will talk real to me and not leave me there to suffer. They will
Hmm.
talk real to me and not let me just stay there and lose my mind.
Yeah.
I don't care what level you on, bishop, apostle, prophet, business owner, millionaire, CEO, chain owner. I don't care who you are. Everybody gets to a place where it's a rough spot, and you need somebody
Oh,
to let you know you matter.
yeah. Hmm. That's all people want to hear. That's all. That's all. I mean, and if we think about who, like, our own selves, you want to hear that. If you think about when you're going through, and you want somebody to say you can make it. If
Yes,
if if you think about when you're having your own moments and you like, this is taking me out of here. You want somebody to say to you, I got your hand. This is what I think. And even if they don't say, see, because sometimes you don't need a person to say anything. Just be there. Just hold my hand. You don't need to know the details. You don't need to know what's going on. You don't need to know how did you get in that. You don't need to know why did you do that. You don't need to know the characters that's involved. I just need you just to be there. And people don't have those kind of people because we don't care in real life. It is no point, and I say it all the time. It's no point in revivals. It's no point in conferences. It's no point in prayer services. It's no point in convocations. It's no point in concerts. It's no point in anything if we're not really going to care about people.
that's right.
That is what Jesus cared. Like, Jesus cared and
Yeah,
still cares. And if our goal is to walk and to be like him, if he cared, what's the problem?
yeah, because he sat with the people that didn't look like us.
Oh yeah, oh
He had
yeah.
no problem. He didn't have no problem. But we will get so starched that we don't even want to sit with somebody because they ain't dressed the right way.
Yeah, being sweet.
I don't care. Just let me go home and change my clothes because I want to be relaxed too.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've gotten so consumed with a look that I think
Absolutely.
we have lost our substance.
Oh yeah.
We have gotten so consumed with a look that we
Mhm.
have lost our substance
Yeah.
just to really extend the love. Because here's the
Yeah.
thing: if you want to be technical, and I'm not gonna get real theological or whatever, but if you want to be technical, the experience of the cross had nothing to do. It was not just to do with sin.
Mm-hmm.
It had everything to do with love.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if you actually, why would you think that the word of God would say, "For God so loved the world that He gave"? It
Yeah.
all had to do with this was the ultimate example and demonstration of love. But that's the main thing that we lack.
Absolutely.
That
Oh yeah.
How is that the ultimate thing, the ultimate gift that God gave us was love,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the main thing that we lack? What's wrong here?
We pick and choose who we want to love. We I love you if you doing what I think. That's how you get the unconditional love, or the word
Mm-hmm.
unconditional love. As long as you're doing what I think, then everybody will love you. But it's when you're dirty, it's when you're damaged, that people don't really love. Like it's it's different compartments to love. It's very seldom for someone to love you unconditionally. I have made choices that have been, I cannot believe you even like decided that, or that's even what you thought, right? And when I was dealing with whatever it is I was dealing with, I didn't, everybody who said they loved me, if I had maybe 100 people who said they loved me, it went down to 10.
True.
And if I didn't love myself enough and reverted backwards, that 10 went down to maybe 5.
Yep.
We have stipulations on love, but then we try to preach that God is love. Well, where's your love? Because
Yep.
we're aiming to be like him, right? So where is your love? We are dirty. Like, I don't care how clean we think we are. We are dirty, and God never does not love us. The fact that we wake up every day and can put our feet on the floor to get out of the bed is one of the greatest definitions to me of love. One of the greatest characteristics of
Greatest.
it is, because you he don't have to, you nasty on Monday and he
Good.
still lets you get up on Tuesday.
Nasty
He
on
he don't cut
Monday.
you off. If you nasty to me, you getting blocked. Cause I'm not gonna be that. But I'm not gonna keep praying for me. I'm not I'm not gonna, but that's real. Like
But
if you
it's
do
true.
stuff to us or different things, that's it for you. The measure of love that we had is completely over. But that's not what love is. I can love you whether you right, wrong, dirty, clean, confused, making a whole bunch of bad decisions. My love for you, it never changes.
That's right.
And people lack that. We
That's
love
right.
our friends because they're our friends. But if your friend does something that is wrong towards you and you're not their friend no more, you're not gonna love them as much either.
Mm-hmm.
Love is so conditional. It's so conditional. God forbid you in a relationship and you love them a whole bunch. Y'all break up, you hate them. You don't, that love is gone because it's conditional. The love is conditional, and people lack that. People lack that, and sometimes, um, I wish I could just hug everybody. I wish I could just love on everyone, which is why I am the way that I am. People say you always being sweet, you always being nice. Yep, because I remember when I was the person that needed that. I remember when I was that person who needed someone to
Right.
just rub their back and say, "You good." I remember when I was that person, and
Yeah, Lamika, she do.
what she say? Yeah. So I definitely that's why I am that way. The world is lost, but it's lost because we're not being loving.
My whole thing is my luck. We don't have to agree on everything.
Mm,
We don't, and that goes back to my statement earlier, and that's why I am able to intermingle with different
yeah.
people of backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds, religious backgrounds, and everything. It's because my motto has been probably since I did a immersion living amongst the homeless people about 5 years ago. It's unity and diversity.
Absolutely.
I don't have to experience your story to appreciate
Mm-mm.
you. I don't have to experience your story to know that you need to be loved because I know I need love. So that's why the whole thing of I matter, what is it makes a lot to me, because if I matter and I know how I feel, then I should understand that somebody else's matters, because that's how they want to feel. But I
Absolutely.
think we've become so selfish, and like you said earlier, it's like, as long as I get mine, that's all that matters. But I don't want to go to heaven by myself.
Right.
I don't want to be sitting up there chilling by myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through life by myself. I want to make memories with some friends and stuff. And so sometimes I need to, understand where they are, even if I don't agree with it or I don't know why they made their choices. That's still my friend.
Yeah.
That's still my friend. And guess what? Hey, you ready to go? Well, where we going? All right,
Yeah.
let's go. You know,
Yeah.
and I'll say, and I'm still the one that if you're wrong, I'm gonna tell you you're wrong. But then I'm gonna ask you, do you need help? Any help? Like maybe you just need to look at it a different way, or maybe you need to make a
Yeah.
better decision. Offer love, and then maybe offer them they made a way they may never thought about.
Yeah. And sometimes you don't even have to. I tell people all the time, if they are a thief, they know they're a thief. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a liar, you know you're a liar. I don't need to sit there and drill down to you like, you steal, and you lying. Like,
And half
you
your
do that. Like,
outfit you stole, so you don't need me to tell you that.
yeah, you don't need me to, I don't, and I think I don't know why we think we are just, what you say matters so much. Like, I don't need to tell you that. But what I do need to do is bring it to your attention that, hey, I know you're a thief. You know you're a thief. That doesn't make me love you any different, but I do want to help you, like you said, to look at it a different way.
Yeah, you
Why
need
do
help.
we don't like getting to the root of stuff? Why do you steal? What happened? Because believe it or not, when people deal with situations now, 9 times out of 10, the situation is so bad, not because of what it actually is, but something
Yep.
that previously happened. But we don't care about the stuff that previously happened. We want to deal with the now instead of actually saying, well, do you think that this is this way because maybe this has happened, or what, in any kind of way. We don't like talking to people. We don't like talking to them. Now, we will talk with a group of people if it comes to exposing a person. That we definitely will everybody can have a conversation with that. But to actually sit there and actually care about a person, that's very, very rare. That's very, very rare.
Yep. And so I told y'all we was gonna have a good old conversation. So what is the last thing that you would want to share with the people with regards to the importance of making sure that the people you come in contact with know that they matter and that you care?
um I think the what's important to me is people living. And I think that is what I am big on. I am very big on people surviving. I am very big on people feeling like someone is there. And I live by, you never know if this is your last time seeing that person, and you have an opportunity. When you see somebody in the morning and you say, hey, how you doing? Have a great day. That is your that was your opportunity right then and there. We don't take advantages of opportunities. Period. So, and it doesn't have to be anything deep and spooky, because encouragement can just be, you got it.
Yep, you
Encouragement
got
can
it.
just be, smile. Encouragement can just be, well, look at where you were last week. Encouragement could be, all right, well, you're doing way better than you did yesterday. It doesn't have to be something so deep. And
Absolutely.
I just want people to just come out of just caring about themselves and their circles, because you have extra concern when it's people you care for. But what about the people you don't care for?
That's
What
true.
about the people that you're this close to hating? What about the people who broke your heart? What about the people who did you wrong, who you thought were going to be there and they were not? They deserve still, even in their wrongdoing, they still deserve someone to care. So I just want to encourage everyone to be that person to care. It's not easy. There are times where I want to say whatever I want to say extra. There are times when I want to be mean if someone has been mean to me. And there are times when I can look at a person and be like, I can't. Like I really don't use them right now. But at the end of the day, they still deserve somebody to be there. Because
True.
you were that person that somebody didn't like either.
Right.
You were that person that somebody thought you were not worthy of getting encouragement either.
That's right.
So I just want to encourage all of us to step outside of ourselves and just apply how treat people how you would want to be treated.
That's it. And
Definitely.
so, listen, you guys, I promised you that it was going to be an amazing session with my sister, my friend, Kendra. Listen, I want you to stay on the lookout for the things that she has coming, because guess what? She can only sit on this baby for so long. And so, as long as Lamika, Nicole, look, we're going to keep pushing her on out here until she come on and bring it full circle, because
Absolutely.
the health of the people needs this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thank you for sharing. If you know anybody, share this that needs to hear this. We need to understand that not only do we matter, but others matter as well. And I think Kendra puts it best. I feel, you feel. And so Lamika said, I'm pushing and getting on her nerves. That's right. We're going to do
Absolutely.
both. We're going to do both. But listen, I just want you guys to know we have to show care to somebody. So after this, you can no longer say you didn't know,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't know how you should do it. So tomorrow, you ought to exhibit some level of care and compassion to somebody. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it don't have to be deep and spooky. It could be something as simple as have a good day with a smile.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, thank you all for hanging out with us for the She's More Now Connectional. Jasmine, wait a minute, Nee said on everyone's nerves. Oh no, she said it's Nikki. Oh, Nikki is using Jasmine. She said, yeah, on everybody's nerves.
They do me so wrong.
And so I love you all. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight for the She's More Now Connectional Resource, where once a month we bring different people together to talk about it. Yep, Chrissy, you'll be on next. You on the schedule. You on I'm already
Yeah.
on 20. I'm
Get all
already
my
on the
sisters on there.
2022 schedule. So don't worry. Nicole, Chrissy, y'all coming on. Mary, y'all coming on. Don't you worry. I got y'all on the calendar for 2022. But listen, as I tell you always, I don't know it all. You don't know it all. But if you connect to other people, you can always have a resource to be able to meet any need in your life. And so this has been the She's More Now Connectional Resource with Dr. Shavonna Whitehead. I am, wait a minute, no. I love you too, Nicole. I'm not leaving you out of it. I am Dr. Shavonna Whitehead, and it's always my privilege, my honor, and my pleasure to serve you. Have an amazing evening, but most of all, continue to show love and compassion to somebody. Have a great evening, everyone.
Good night.